Hey, hey, and welcome along. Have you ever asked that question, what does my best life even look like? Or what is it that I actually really want? They are fabulous questions to ask. And did you know that when it comes down to the crunch, and when you get digging deeper beyond some of the layers of, the outer superficiality of I'd like to have this in my life or I'd like to have that in my life. And when you dig a bit deeper beyond like the perfect relationship or the ideal career, or I want the house, or I want them to live in this place, or I want my life to look like this or that, when you get digging below that surface of the external pieces, right? And when we start getting deeper into the more internal layers, like what is your experience of that? How does it feel to live that life? Most people, once you start getting down a bit deeper beyond the I've ticked a few boxes on the outside, cannot identify or have some real trouble identifying what it is I really want. Beyond what does society think I want, beyond what do my parents think I want, my partner, my friends, my neighbors, my social groups, beyond what others think we want or tell us that we want, and the shaping that we have had about the type of life that we ought to be living. It takes a bit of work to dig a little deeper into what do I truly, madly, deeply want? What is it that I want to experience or connect to or have some experience of whilst I am in this human form, in this very short life on planet Earth, right? In this short time that we have here to experience something. What is that? And from that space, what kind of life do I really want to craft? What life does that look like, right? And so those are the explorations that you do when you start to get into these juicy kinds of questions and these juicy deep dives. Yeah. So a good coach will take you in those directions. I'd love to do that, of course, and a good support network, a good friend, a good, circle of people around you will help awaken from you what this deeper yearning, this deeper invitation to be more, the deeper calling, the deeper vision, what that really is. And once you start awakening to that vision of what could be, you have immediately started to activate it in the present moment, because we can only start to get to where we truly want to be and what we want from any present moment, right? We see it, we vision it, and so in that moment we start to bring it into alignment with our present day because we've started to connect with it. But here's the thing, that leap between where you want to be or where you think you want to be and where you are now, if that's a really big leap, then that can feel very painful, right? It can feel like, oh my goodness, how am I ever going to do that? How will I ever achieve X, Y, or Z? How will I ever get that in my life or do that, right? And when we then start to focus on that gap, that can feel incredibly painful or lonely or frustrating to be there. But here's a key. Here is a really important key. And this is where your spiritual experiences have such an incredible, potent role to play. And this is what will take you out of the league of regular counseling, of regular psychotherapy, of regular, kind of group sessions in this way. Here is one of the keys to tap into that deeper wisdom that you have in order to really start to anchor things in your life in a way that is constructive, empowering, and not always feeling less than or unable to, or like I'm not meeting the mark of something, right? So what is that? What is that, Nicole, that you are talking about? So this part here, the most important factor in order to connect you, anchor you, ground you with that longing, that yearning that is coming through you for something more, even if you don't yet know what that is or what that looks like, because you don't have to. You don't have to have the perfect vision in your head. You don't have to have the checklist to say, what do I truly want, X, Y, Z, right? But the one thing that will help you step closer to figuring out what that is, and if you do have that vision, the one thing that's going to help you start to bring it and make it happen, even from today, even from this very moment. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you leaning in with me? That one thing is understanding what is that core desired state. What is that state that you are in when those things are met, when you have that life that you are visioning, when you are embodied in that vision, when you have that relationship or that career path or that, lifestyle or that whatever it is that you are seeking to shift it from a vision or a hope or an aspiration into a present moment. You need to connect with the state that you will be in, or you think you'll be in, once you get there, right? So here's how you do that: is you make that thing alive for you as much as possible, right? You imagine yourself there, you grow that vision, and then you step into what that feeling state is, right? So is it joy that you are experiencing in that moment? Is it peace? Is it love? Is it expansion? What is that substance that is there, that is in your core desired state? If you can connect to that, and when you connect to that, this is where the magic really happens, because now the timelines collapse. And now what also happens is the things that you might have thought you want on the outside, like all of those external pieces, if you can connect to that core desired state, those external pieces don't matter so much anymore, because as long as you're connected to what is going to make you truly happy on the inside, the choices that you make, every single choice, every single step from that point will be in alignment, right? You make those choices in alignment with that core desired state. Is it in alignment with my core desired state or not, right? If it's not part of the picture. Or how do I, negotiate to make it work better if that's the thing that I have to do? Or is it in alignment? Then it's a clear yes that you walk towards that. And what you will discover is that along your path and along your way, eventually you will look around, and what you see on the outside may be an actual representation of the thing that you are currently visioning, or may look completely different. And if it is completely different, it doesn't even matter, because that core alignment has taken place. And so there is happiness, there is peace, there is joy, whatever that thing is, regardless of what the outside form and manifestation is. So let me know how this lands. Let me know if you know what your core desired state is. And of course, if you want to dive deeper into understanding what that is, shaping what that is, walking through activities with what that is, and having someone hold your hand and help you along and encourage you from the sidelines of your life as you do that, send me a DM and we can get talking about how we make that happen, because that is what I do, and that is what I am so incredibly passionate about. Because I want you to be living your best life. I want you to be living from the most powerful place within you, because when you do that, when you live from that place, the ripples change, right? The ripples around you have a positive effect on others. Your relationship with family members, with lovers, with children, with your friends start to shift. You might not even have to address that thing that is like, a cactus up your bum that just annoys you every day. This is a different approach. Rather than shining the spotlight on what you think might be the problem in a key relationship or in a key area of your growth or your work or whatever it is, something that is just so frustrating, painful, and annoying to you. Sometimes the more that we focus on it and the more that we just are at this thing, the worse it can become, right? because where our attention goes, energy flows, whether it's a positive or negative energy, right? Bad or good, right? Meaning just energy, really. It doesn't have to be bad or good. I use that with the quotation marks because those are perceived judgments, but that's another conversation. Energy goes, right, where attention goes, energy flows there. And so sometimes in shifting a dynamic that just feels so stuck and icky and challenging or draining within our life, it might be the opposite. We're just completely drained because of that scenario and we just want to shut off from it. Sometimes shifting our attention in a different way and our energy in a different way has this magical effect in another area, and we've never even done anything there. And this can be one of those techniques, tapping into that core desired state, that core place of your power, your energy, right? And when I mentioned your spiritual experiences, what those can connect us to and reveal to us is our core essence, right? Us at our most pure, our most magnificent, our most powerful. Those experiences give us a sense of what that is. And so we know it. If you've had these experiences, you know what I'm talking about. You know what that is for yourself. And so your ability now to get more familiar with that, to create the ground so that that can live through you more and become more of the fabric of your being, and you embody that more, means that you start to live from that more grounded place, make those better decisions, and the magical ripple effect can happen even more and more. Good. So hopefully that gives you a sense of how you can connect to your best life. If that's something that you struggle with, what does my best life even look like? And perhaps even help you get closer to it and start to make some decisions and live from that place. Thank you for joining me. Leave me a comment. If you love this, share it along and give it to someone who can benefit. Much love.